Hello and welcome to the ITIL for Service Configuration Management Practice Sample Paper 1 recording from One World Training. There are two official sample papers from PeopleCert. This is the first of those two. About One World Training. We are a global training, business simulation and training company having offices in the USA, the UK, the Netherlands, India, Malaysia, UAE, South Africa and many other countries globally. We provide training in IT, business management, project management, ISO standards, GDPR, and many other topics for individuals as well as organizations. We deliver courses in 5 different ways. 1, public classroom based. 2, online from home or work. 3, e-learning. 4, blended approach of e-learning as well as in-person support for you. And lastly, at the user's locations, on-site that is, for private and government organizations. When we say online, we mean virtual. It's a live virtual training. We are endorsed by and authorized by leading global professional bodies, and you can see some of those logos and the courses that we offer. About the nature of the sample paper, which is in line with the exam style of questions. All questions are multiple choice. There will be 30 minutes duration for the exam, and you will have 20 questions to be attempted. You should attempt all of them because each question is worth 1 mark. And there's only one correct answer for each of them. And you need to score 13 or more to pass the exam. I will be taking you through all the 20 questions, one after another, and I'll be pausing momentarily after each question so that you can also think about the answer before I reveal and explain the answer. Here we go with the first question. What is the purpose of service configuration management? A, to ensure that information about resources and how they are related can be accessed as necessary. B, to create databases to store records of resources throughout their life cycle. C, to ensure that configuration information is provided cost effectively. Or D, to create baselines of resources that are formally reviewed and agreed. All of them seem to be closely connected with this practice, so we need to be cautious to select the correct answer. The first one seems to be okay for me because the practice does ensure that accurate and reliable information about the configuration of services and the configuration items that support them is available when and where needed. It also includes information on how those configurations are configured and the relationships between them. So that's what A indicates. So A should be the correct answer. Let's move on to the others and check them out. Option B, it's about the configuration management system, wherein it's a repository for holding information about the CIs. So the CMS is a set of tools, data, and information that supports the service configuration management practice. Option C, this is a practice success factor and not the purpose of the practice. One of the PSFs is to ensure that the costs of providing the configuration information are continually optimized. Option D, this is not the purpose of the practice, but it's about the baselines, which are used to record specific configurations of resources. And a baseline is essentially a configuration of a product, service, or some other item that has been formally reviewed and included as part of the practice. Therefore, the correct answer would be option A. We move on to the next question. An organization wishes to optimize the cost of providing configuration information. How should the organization optimize the cost according to the guiding principle, start where you are? A, acquiring new tools only when necessary to share new configuration information. B, implement regular reviews of component data stored in the configuration management database. C, ensure technical teams are consulted regarding the configuration information they will use. Or D, communicate the most effective ways of using configuration information. For this, we need to refer to one of the tables in the practice guide. So let me take you to that table about the usage of principles in this practice. And you will be having access to the practice guide through your PeopleCert login or through your Bookshelf app. We have a separate recording explaining to you how to get access to this practice guide either through your PeopleCert account or through the Bookshelf app. And the same recording will explain to you how you can book your exam through the voucher that is given to you. And also you can schedule the date and time for your exam. So I'm actually in this table 2.4, which is guiding principles in the continual optimization of configuration information costs. And you can see the second entry, start where you are, use available sources of information, avoid adding new sources and tools unless they are justified. Therefore, we need to look at that option within the 4 options given to us. So option A is the one indeed, acquire new tools only when necessary to share new configuration information. Option B, implement regular reviews of component data stored in the configuration management database. This is the guiding principle, progress iteratively with feedback. The word regular reviews is the clue there. Option C is about the focus on value principle. It is about including the relevant information that is required by stakeholders and not using other information or including other information. Option D is about the collaborate and promote visibility principle. So communicate the most effective ways of using configuration information, which means explain and promote available sources of configuration information and the best ways to use them, then provide hints and tips for more efficient use. This is something you will find in the practice guide. We move on to question number 3. An organization wants to ensure it has the appropriate configuration information about its products and services. Which metric should the organization use? A, frequency of poor decisions made based on invalid or missing configuration information. B, direct costs of populating and maintaining the CMDB. C, stakeholder satisfaction with the cost of managing the CMDB. Or D, number and frequency of CMS used by the technical teams. So although you will not be able to access the practice guide during the exam, but it's good to look at it to understand the correct answer. The question is about ensuring that there is appropriate configuration information about products and services, and therefore which metric should be used. And the clue to this will be in one of the tables. This is table 2.5, which is the key metrics table. And you can see here, these are the key metrics for the practice. And here we have the first practice success factor, which is same as what mentioned in the question, ensure that the organization has relevant configuration information about its product and services. And here you can see the third statement, the number and impact of bad decisions made due to insufficient or incorrect configuration information. And we can see that in option A, therefore option A will be correct. The option B, the direct costs of populating and maintaining the CMDB, this is associated with the PSF, ensuring that the costs of providing configuration management are continually optimized. Then option C also is related to the same PSF as in B, and option D also is associated with the same PSF as in B and C. We move on to the next question, number 4. An organization wants to adopt a consistent approach to managing components from creation to deletion. What concept should the organization use? A, baseline configuration of similar CIs. B, configuration item lifecycle model. C, configuration management system. Or D, service configuration model. This can be a bit tricky because option B and D both are about model with a slight difference. Option A, baseline configuration. They do not provide a consistent approach. They are used to record configurations at a point in time. Option B, configuration item lifecycle model. This would be the correct one because it's a set of rules, policies, and guidelines that define, standardize, and optimize the organization's approach to managing the lifecycle of the CI records within a specific domain or any other category. So B would be correct. The CMS, which is the option C, it's a set of tools to manage configuration information. It does not define the approach to manage the information. And option D, service configuration model, which is very close to option B, the configuration item lifecycle model. So D here means the service configuration models describe the architecture of a set of CIs. So they do not provide a consistent approach to managing the CIs throughout a lifecycle. In fact, the service configuration models focus on various aspects of the service architecture and the relationships between the components. Therefore, option B remains the correct answer. Question number 5. Next one. What is an example of a configuration item? A, the hardware and software that are essential to the provision of a company website. B, the service and data architecture of an online banking service. C, the means of storing records about a photo storage mobile app throughout its life cycle. Or D, the configuration of a cloud service related to the latest service. At first look, to me, all these options seem to be configuration items. It's quite tricky. So, but it's possible that each of these entries mean something different. So let's take a closer look at these. Recollect what a configuration item is. It is any component that needs to be managed in order to deliver an IT service. Look at option A. Do the hardware and software need to be managed to provide the website service? Yes, because they are essential. Therefore, A is a very likely correct answer. Option B, the service and data architecture of the service. This is a service configuration model. They describe the architecture of a set of CIs. They do not refer to the configuration of the components themselves. Yes, more the architecture. Therefore, and the relationship between the components are also described by the configuration model. So B is incorrect. Option C, it's about the CMDB, it seems, because the CMDB is a database which stores configuration records. And as you can see that in C. Option D is it's a configuration baseline because it's a baseline, as you know, it's a configuration of a product, service, or a CI which has been formally reviewed and agreed. And it is the basis for further activities like planning, development, and usage. And you see here the clue is the latest release at the end of this sentence in D. So which means it's a baseline of the cloud service for the latest release. Therefore, the correct answer would be option A. As you would have noticed, some of the questions are tricky. We need to be cautious because all the 4 answers seem to be aligned to the question, but there are subtle differences.